What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Courting. Last video of the night. Thank you all for enduring my Let's Play, those of you that watched it. Seems like most people kind of liked it, but maybe people wanted me to play a more popular video game. I don't think I ever see myself playing, like, whatever new releases, but some older games or something weird or bizarre or nostalgic, that I think I would do. So maybe we can develop that series where at least once a week you get a Let's Play video to kind of break up all the news. And people seem to respond positively to that. So keep your suggestions coming here and on Twitter. Now, PAX West is a huge kind of tech conference. A lot of gaming news comes out of there, but not just gaming, but tech and stuff like that. It's a little bit different than something like E3 or like QuakeCon, but there's a lot of video game news that gets announced at PAX. And Chris RayGun and Colin Moriarty have a show called Sacred Symbols, and they had actually been allowed to have a panel at PAX as of July 11th. They announced Sacred Symbols live. PAX West is go. See you there. Showing the email from PAX saying, "Congratulations, your panel Sacred Symbols, a PlayStation podcast live, has been accepted. We tentatively have you scheduled Monday, September 2nd at 11:30 in the Hydra Theater. Feel free to tweet, blog, podcast, and let the world know you will be attending. It is by no means a secret. This theater will be streaming via twitch.tv, and by confirming your attendance via email, you are consenting to having your PAX panel content broadcast. The Hydra Theater is located in the Grand Hyatt, and the Raven Theater is located in the Hyatt Regency." You can see a lot of comments. A lot of people very excited to go. Fans of their show, you can see they actually announced it here at 2 o'clock on July 12th, which is just over 2 weeks ago. I hope you're all well. I wanted to let you know that our panel submission for Sacred Symbols has been accepted. According to the organizers, our panel will be on Monday, September 2nd in Seattle. It will be at 11:30 a.m. in the Hydra Theater. The PAX West planner's email says the time and date is tentative, but I don't see why they'd tell us all this and encourage us to tell our audience if they're going to change anything. Before you ask, we have no control of the date and time. We know that some of you won't be able to attend, the nature of your passes. That's out of our control. Unfortunately, this time slot we've been given. To answer, we will undoubtedly be another question. No, there will be no proper meet and greet on or off site. I'm flying from LA to Seattle on Sunday night, heading back Monday night because I got a business to run. I hope you understand. We'll gladly stay and shake hands, take pictures, etc. after the panel. The good news is, for those that can't come, the Hydra Theater will be streamed on Twitch. Okay, so this is the show that is between Colin Moriarty as well as Chris RayGun, two clear fans of video games. Chris, I'm obviously more familiar with his work. I see Colin, I endorse a lot of his takes I see on Twitter. I don't know him personally. I reached out to Chris and asked him if he had any idea what was going on, because not that long ago, Colin Moriarty and Chris RayGun both announced that they had been deplatformed from PAX, saying, "PAX West rescinded Sacred Symbols panel today. So if you're planning to go, sorry. I asked why, waiting for a response." They sent simply this email. "Apologies, but we unfortunately have to remove your panel from the PAX West 2019 schedule. We apologize for any confusion and are happy to still issue special guest badges to you and the folks you had designated as speakers, so you will still have access to the show for all 4 days." So PAX deplatforms them, but wants them to still show up at the event and promote it for them. Absolutely absurd. There is no doubt people that had attended PAX or were on the fence about attending PAX bought a ticket to attend this panel. Will PAX be refunding those fans of Chris RayGun and Colin Moriarty's tickets? Will PAX actually tell us why it is? You can see Colin's response to PAX saying, "Hey, can I be given a reason? I've already bought plane tickets, got a hotel, and rallied my audience to go. People acquired passes to see us. Please let us know as soon as you can, since this seems awfully weird. We get one of the biggest theaters, and then suddenly we're removed. I'd like more info." I don't expect PAX to reply at this point. I don't think PAX will be providing any information, but I think we all know why it is. Certainly, I think Chris is not offensive at all. Chris, I would consider, for those of you that say, well, PAX is a convention. This is why I don't want to go to any conventions, why I never want to give them any money. Basically, PAX got free advertisement out of Colin Moriarty and Chris RayGun, and then just dropped them. Now, if I were Colin or Chris, I absolutely would not be going to PAX unless they restored my panel, which we know they won't do, but it'll be interesting to see what they do. I've been in this position, for example, with Gen Con or Magic events, where, I could no longer attend, and I still in my heart wanted to go. I still wanted to cover certain news and events, but it's hard to when you've been burned like this. I don't think PAX is going to come out and say anything officially, but I talked to Chris, and he seems to think that it's entirely likely that somebody didn't like them or somebody had a problem with them having a panel and then they rescinded. He couldn't think of anything in particular, any reason why they would have had their panel removed. Chris recently tweeting, a few weeks ago, we were approved for a panel at PAX West for our PlayStation podcast. We had a room date and a time. Today, that approval was revoked without any warning or reason. Pretty messed up if you ask me, but maybe PAX will give us some actual explanation. Now, I'm going to tag PAX in the title of this video. I'm not sure that me stumping for Chris or Colin is going to do them any good, but you, the viewers, people that maybe have tickets to go to PAX or have thought of going to PAX, by letting them know that you no longer intend to go to PAX or you're considering refunding your tickets after you see how they've treated a creator that you maybe wanted to see, maybe that will have some sort of impact. I think, to me, with everything that goes on in today's, video game space, I'm pretty sure why they've been deplatformed here and why they won't be able to talk about PlayStation games at a PAX conference. I don't understand why they don't at least tell them why. I don't think they ever will. And you can see a lot of people coming in and saying, oh, maybe they don't accept bad guys. As someone who's attended PAX East for the last 4 years, I can tell you that this move is a perfect way to get me to never attend PAX again. You should upload a quick video on this. I know it doesn't fit your channel, but it would attract a lot more attention than their shenanigans. Well, I'm hoping that Chris or Colin will share this video. I know they don't want to publicly cause any trouble for PAX, and I don't necessarily either. But what I'm hoping is people will share this video. People will tweet out this video. People will tweet to PAX on behalf of Chris and Colin and understand that deplatforming somebody last minute is unacceptable. Many of their fans may have purchased plane tickets to attend there. And on top of that, providing literally no reason to attend or no reason for their deplatforming is particularly questionable. I think the fact that they have some sort of guilt by association here, in other words, no platforming of conservative, I don't know. Will Jason Schreier cover this? It's hard to say if the games media will support this. I mean, I think Chris is to be totally honest, we know there is bias in games media in particular, one of the worst in any media out there. We know that Chris is a pretty lefty guy, even though he oftentimes will point out absurdity. That's what I like about him. I'm a fan of Chris RayGun's content. I'm a fan of him as a person and his convictions. And I don't know if games media will come to his defense. So it's left with us. And here we are now for the second time today trying to rally support. Earlier today, we talked about that Umbrella guy and things that are going on with him in terms of the comic book media. But this time, it's Chris RayGun, a very large creator. I don't know if he'll upload a video. I don't think he will. I don't think he's that kind of guy, and I respect that. I'm just not. I'm more of a stirrer, a poo stirrer. And I think that many of my viewers wanted to see this show at PAX, but even more of my viewers are not fans of deplatforming. Look, if you don't like something somebody says or you don't like them as a person, just don't attend their panel. I don't understand why people think that deplatforming them is going to do any good. All it's going to do is hopefully spread awareness. Hopefully you're sharing this video and you're letting PAX know, including it, and saying, PAX, this is not okay. Deplatforming somebody, first of all, we all know why. But second of all, with no reason on this short of notice is crazy. And then to say, well, we'll still give you a 4-day free pass. Why? so they can come to the event and give you press. This is why conventions are dying. They only want to cater to what? Half of the customers out there? Look, I think you have, in terms of customers or people that are interested in PAX, the largest group of people are apolitical. They don't have any quote-unquote side. The smallest group are people that strongly identify with one side or the other. But what's going to happen is when you do this to two fans of video games, you're just going to make everybody on all sides angry, and that's completely unacceptable behavior by PAX. They need to reinstate the panel. I think that's the only reasonable thing to do. And if you're Chris or Colin, I absolutely would not be attending the convention whatsoever, and I wouldn't be giving them any coverage either. I know it might stink on a personal level because it's fun to attend these conferences, but at the end of the day, they need to have some sort of negative pushback to what they've done. And to me, this is clear. It's clearly partisan, and it's unacceptable. PAX should be ashamed of themselves, and I absolutely will be covering this until they reinstate their panel or provide a reasonable reason why they can no longer accommodate a previously agreed upon panel. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you share it far and wide, and we'll talk to you again real soon.